Hello, welcome to my channel, A Blessed Budget. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you're notified that I am budgeting. Before I get started, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to budget with me and support me during this financial journey as I navigate through how to make my money stretch through the month. And to all of my viewers, I hope after this video, you will consider subscribing.
Vibes on vibes, I'm a ticking dynamite. I blow your candle light. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill my vibe. No fit kill, them no fit kill, them no fit kill my eyes are set. Follow the stars, yeah you shall find her. It's a bad vibe. If you hit your enemies shine. If you're not a friend of me, enter the light. Cause you can never kill my vibe. But there is no sacrifices. Everything was taken.
Okay, so in this video today, we will be closing out week 4 of February and closing out the whole month of February. And we will be setting up for March, but March would be a separate video from this video. I don't want this video to be too long. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We are going to go ahead and look at week 4, February paycheck budget tracker. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This was the paycheck date from the 25th through the 29th. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the inflow section. So for rollover number 1, we did roll over $189.33. For rollover number 2, we did roll over $560.44. And for car maintenance, we did bring in $60. So altogether, our inflow total was $809.77. So the fixed expenses that we had this week was only 2, and that was the way at $10, and my renter's insurance, which was $24.07. This just represents what bill is coming out of what account instead of what paycheck is paying what bill. So I do budget out of 2 different accounts, and certain bills come out of one account, certain bills come out of account 2. So I gotta make sure I know which bills is coming out of what account and make sure the amount of money in those accounts stay within a certain limit so those bills can come out. Okay, so for our fixed expense total, we do get a total of $34.07, leaving us a leftover of $775.70. So we're going to go ahead and move down to our variable expenses for week 4. So for gas, we actually spent $59.49. Household did not receive anything. Food out received $4.40. Me, I received 0. Daughter received 0. Son received 0. Miscellaneous received 0. Car wash, car accessories received 0 as well. School did receive $45, and we did spend the $60 out of car maintenance. I had to get my brakes done, and that costed $60. So altogether, our variable expense total for week 4 was $168.89, leaving us a leftover of $606.81. So I went ahead and brought that over here to our extra savings. So for rollover number 1, we actually rolled over $165.26, and for rollover number 2, we actually rolled over more than we budgeted, which was $441.55. And our March start balance is $606.81, giving us a leftover of 0. I am so happy that I am actually starting a new month with money, and not only with just money, like with over $500. So that is giving me like a boost coming from February into March. I do have yearly, well not yearly, I do have my phone bill due in March, so that's going to help. So yeah, we'll get into all that when that video comes out. So now that we are done, we are closing out week 4. I am going to go ahead and close out the whole month of February. Okay, so we are now looking at our February debt payment plan. So as you all know, I only have 2 creditors, and that is both vehicles. No credit card, no car notes, none of that stuff. But I did go ahead and make an extra payment to my credit card. If you guys don't know, I thought I lost my debit card, so I was charging my credit card, and when I found my debit card, I just replaced the money back to the credit card. So anyways, the total debts for February, we have the Equinox. The Equinox balance is $2,660.74. And the Ford, we owe $6,678.34. So like I said, the extra debt payment was to my credit card Discover, and that was $96.53. And I did make that payment on 2/16/24. So our total debt payments this month, the minimum plus the extras, was $690.90. We're gonna go ahead and look at the monthly debt progress for February. So for February, last month our debt balance was $9,718.95. This month our total debt balance is $9,339.08. Our total debt monthly progress was only $379.87, and that total debt monthly progress was only 2%. I really don't much focus on monthly progress. I like to look at the overall debt progress because that tells me a little bit more than the monthly. But I still do the monthly so I can get the overall debt progress, because you have to do it monthly in order to get everything, all the overall. So our overall debt progress, so when we started in 2022 with tracking our debt, we had $23,170.40 worth of debt. And this month, our total debt balance is $9,339.08. So our overall debt progress from 2022, we have paid off $13,831.32 worth of debt, and that is an overall debt progress percentage of 60%. So I'm very, very happy to see that the overall debt progress is going in a positive direction. We have paid over $13,000 off, almost $14,000 worth of debt, and by the end of this year, I am hoping and praying that we don't have no debt to pay. I am thinking that once this balance get knocked off, because this balance will get knocked off by April, then we'll only have to worry about this balance, and this balance should be being paid off by the end of this year. So we will see about that. But this is a look at my debt payment plan. I am so excited to see that the balances are going down. I'm not adding debt to my list. I am still trying not to fall back into the trap of being in debt. So I know that I am going to have a mortgage one day, and that is a debt. So that's the only debt I would like to have. I would like to have everything saved in cash, so in any event of emergency, I would like to just keep building up my savings. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at where did our money go for February. Okay, so we are looking at where did my money go for February. We are looking at the monthly debt and savings breakdown. As you all can see, for debt, our total monthly inflow was $3,603.16. Our monthly debt payoff was $690.90. So that was about 19% of our inflow to debt. And our debt categories are the Equinox, and that got $320, so that was 46% of the $320. 46% was the $690.90. The Ford got $274.37, and that was 40% of the $690.90. And Discover got $96.53, and that was 14% of the $690.90. And as you guys know, the Equinox get the majority of the payment, and these are minimum payments though, so yeah. And then we get down to our savings side. So our total monthly income was $2,814.16. As you all know, I did not save nothing this month, so that was nothing of our, no percent of income was saved this month. Last month I was able to save $3,700, so I'm not even really pressed about not saving for February, because I know that if I do receive any other income, I will be able to save it. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the next page. And this page is called Where Did My Money Go? February monthly budget category breakdown. So we are going to be breaking down our categories and seeing how much we spent in each category for February. Okay, so my categories are listed on the sides, and these categories are working out good for me. I don't want to add any more categories because I try to make sure that all my spending aligns within any of these categories. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this sheet here. So we did have a starting balance from January into February of $1,150.05. We did have earned income at $837. We also had other income come in at $827.11. And we did use savings in February of $789. So altogether, our total monthly inflow equals $3,603.16. So we are going to go ahead and get started and look at the budget categories. So for rent, we spent $0, and that was 0% of our monthly inflow. Utilities, we spent $202.86, and that was 6% of our total monthly inflow. We was also under in this category as well. For insurance, we spent $322.23. We were under budget, and that was 9% of our monthly inflow. For monthly subscriptions, we spent $119, and we were under budget, and that was 3% of our total monthly inflow. For yearly subscriptions, we spent $303.68, and we were over budget, and that was 8% of our monthly total inflow. For debt, we spent $690.90. We were over budget, and that was 19%. For gas, we spent $245.68. We were over budget, and that was 7%. For household, we spent $113.24. We were under budget, and that was 3%. Food out, we spent $111.14. We were under budget, and that was 3%. For me, I spent $31.41. We were under budget, and that was 1%. Daughter, she spent $17.23. She was under budget, and that was 0%. Son, he spent $34.55. He was under budget, and that was 1%. For miscellaneous, we spent $132.22. We were over budget, and that was 4%. For school, we spent $45. We were over budget, and that was 1%. Savings deposited, we did not save nothing. We were under budget, and that was 0%. For tithing, we spent $40. We were on budget, and that was 6%. Car wash, car accessories, we spent $14.65. We were under budget, and that was 0%. Savings spent, we spent $572, and savings spent, we spent $572.56. We were over budget, and that was 16% of our total monthly inflow. Okay, so when I did add up our monthly totals, when I added up the monthly spent, it equaled $2,996.35. And when I took this number and I subtracted it from this number, it gave me the $606.81 to start March off with. And these are just my keys of if we're over, under budget, or on budget right here. But this all equaled out to everything that is reflected into my checking account, so that is a good thing. I also have the digital version of this book, so the digital version do all the math for me. I just take all those numbers and place them here, and that's it. I do try to stay calculating, doing the formulas as well, just to keep my mind, you know, in sync with what's going on. I want to make sure that I am doing everything correctly. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and look at this page right here as well. So this is another page of where did my money go. We're going to look at the monthly comparison spending to see what happened. So we had a monthly inflow change of negative $5,047.01. So as you can see, January versus February, with the budget categories here, what we spent in January and what we spent in February. So I am going to highlight, this is my highlighters. I do have my liners, and I did go ahead and I typed up what my categories were, and I printed them out, and I just taped them on the markers. So as you see, this color is for food out, this is for car wash, car accessories, and etc. So that's what I did with my highlighters, and I keep them in this little bag right here, separate from everything else. Okay, so I do want to go ahead and highlight where we was over and under with both months, but I am going to go ahead and do that a little later. I want to make sure that I know if we're spending more in February than, well, I know we did, because in January we did receive more income, so this side is going to be higher than this side. As you can see, savings deposited, we saved $3,700 last month, but this month we saved $0. So things like that. I am keeping up with savings. I am keeping up with savings spent. Gas, we were, you know, this month I spent a little more than this month. Debt, we spent a lot more than February. So little things like that. My insurance did go up, so I see that happened right here, because it is higher this month. So this is a February monthly closeout for February. So that's where my money went for February. I would like to thank you all so much for joining me today in this budget with me. I really do appreciate it, and until next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.
Everything was taken, you had to make it. Vibe killer, me I no go take shit.